Yesterday, I started reading a new series, specifically a series of unfortunate events. This is the first book in the series, A Bad Beginning. I have never read any of the books before. I haven't even watched either the film adaptation from like 20 years ago or the more recent Netflix TV series. So, I've known that this series has been around for a while, so that's why I decided I'm gonna give it a go. Today, I'm going to give you my main thoughts and what I liked about this book. So, in case you were like me and had never really read or watched anything from this franchise, I'll explain a little bit. So, it follows the Baudelaire children, Violet, Klaus, and Sunny. They were very rich. They lived with their parents in a mansion, but then their parents died in a fire, and now they have to go live with Count Olaf, who's a distant relative. I think it's like he's like their third cousin, fourth removed, or fourth cousin, third thrice removed. And because all of them are underage, I believe Violet's about 14. They're not allowed to have their inheritance yet. They have to wait until she is of age. So it's a little bit Cinderella-esque, where you have kids in a happy life before getting sent to a miserable new guardian. There's also a little bit of Matilda, where like a lot of the adults are like ridiculously cruel, little Dursley action, I think. But also there's a certain Tim Burton-esque to it. It's not fantasy like a lot of his other works, really, but it's definitely a bit macabre. Count Olaf might be one of, if not the worst guardians I've ever come across in any form of media. But at the same time, there's a certain playfulness, especially with the narrator, where it's third person, but every now and then they'll talk to you. They'll use like a big word, and then they'll explain like, oh, this word means this. To show my point, I'm just gonna read a little bit of the first chapter. So this is how the book begins. If you are interested in stories with happy endings, you would be better off reading some other book. In this book, not only is there no happy ending, there's no happy beginning, and very few happy things in the middle. And I feel as though that makes this really fun, even though it is a very bleak, depressing story. Something else that made this book stand out and makes me excited to continue on with the series is the characters. So Violet is 14. I would actually say she and Klaus are sort of co-protagonists of this story. Klaus is 12. And I love how Violet is interested in inventing things while Klaus is more of the bibliophile. I think generally in society, especially probably around the time this book was written, inventing was a little bit more of a boy thing, books were more of a girl thing. So I like how the dynamic was switched. And these children are very clever, even though they do get tricked, but it's understandable. They are children. Violet is 14, but at the same time, they're very clever. They're resourceful. They know that they are in a difficult place. They are stuck there, but they're like, we can find a way out of this. We can find a loophole. We are going to take advantage of all of our resources and good things, and we are going to do the best we can. And then we get Count Olaf. I don't remember the last time a character, especially in one aimed towards a younger demographic, not young adult, not adult. I don't remember a time a character made me feel so uncomfortable. He is abusive to the children. Like he's hardly ever there whenever they wake up. There's just a list of what they have to do for the day, so very Cinderella-esque. And he also only gives them one bed in the and in one room, even though he lives in a very big house. They could probably have more than one room, or at least more than one bed. He also physically abuses Klaus at one point, so... And don't get me started on the marriage. Yeah, he tries to marry a 14-year-old. He tries to marry Violet so he can get her inheritance. I seriously hope this guy is nobody's hear me out, because he is awful. And one of the main reasons I'm looking forward to reading more of the series is see this guy get his comeuppance. And then something else I thought was well executed with this book is there's a certain satisfaction with the ending. Specifically, they're in this location, but at the same time, it's like, this isn't the last in the series. There's going to be more, and I think that's what makes me more excited to read on, and probably why the series is so popular decades later. Yep, so that's my review of the first book in the series of Unfortunate Events. If you enjoyed this, please share it with your friends. I'm Louisa Hammond, and I'll see you next time.